Hey there, and welcome back to another episode of Avg Previews. Today's game is called Cosplay Convention Crisis, and it is developed by Midnight Hearts and published by The Hidden Levels. The Steam description of this game goes as follows. Cosplay Convention Crisis is a visual novel that puts you in the shoes of Jacob Kirby, middling athlete, student, and casual nerd. Guide Kirby over a handful of days across the paths of three strange and powerful girls. So this is basically a visual novel, a more of a dating type visual novel. Let's start. Cosplay Convention Crisis contains themes that are adult in nature. Are you of sexually legal age in your country of residence? Yes. The following game is a product of Studio Midnight Hearts. This demo is not representative of the final game, it's a preview build. Makes sense? Yeah, the game is not yet out. The game will be on Kickstarter once this video goes out, approximately then. Any non-original characters referenced are copyrights of their original creator and only included in the basis of parody. Like Kirby. On Sunday, October 23rd, Jacob Kirby died at age 21. What? Okay. The way he died would have been completely unpredictable just a few days prior. While in the middle of massive dispute, a beam of focused light energy struck him in the heart. At the moment of contact, it blew a hole in one end and out the other. Jacob was dead in seconds. His body crumpled like a house with its foundations pulled out. The last thing he would see was the sympathetic eyes of his killer staring down at him. Perhaps if Jacob Kirby had made different decisions in his life, he wouldn't have ended up in this situation. Perhaps Jacob Kirby might have lived to see his 22nd birthday. Maybe. Perhaps Conton wouldn't have been the last convention he would ever get to attend. But maybe there was no way Jacob Kirby could have avoided such a heartless end. Maybe from the moment he met his killer, it was destiny that she would be the one to kill him. Perhaps. Maybe, perhaps. Maybe. Life is strange that way. Present day. Thursday, October 20th. Morning. I was one of the first people on the back of the bus. I walked to the back and claimed the center seat, of course, where everyone probably expected me to sit. Oh. My name is Jacob Kirby, and today is Thursday, October 20th, the first day of Conton. The right side of the bus was being taken up by the comic club, the left side by the Anime Society, which meant that as the only member of both clubs, I probably had to take them one middle seat. Oh, so that makes sense, right? The other students filed into one side or the other, they barely looked at one another, fun fact. At my school, the Anime Society and Comic Club hated one another with a burning passion. Why? Which is why it was amusing that this year, Conton, the local anime convention, was joining up with Cape City, the local comic book convention, and it was doubly amusing that the school metro only lent us one bus. Perfect. I went over my bag one last time. Badge, check. Outfits, check. Food, so I didn't have to pay the outrageous food court prices. Check and check. I smiled. No boring classes. No life-sucking part-time job. No obnoxious fantasy football-obsessed roommate. This was going to be a great weekend. Please tell me you actually have your badge this time. Whoa. A girl in boyish clothes threw her backpack into the seat opposite mine and sat down. I gave a half wave. If it was in my backpack the entire time, then I didn't lose it, Amanda. If I had lost it, I wouldn't have actually had it. That's deep. If you didn't have it around your neck, you weren't able to get into the con. I'm pretty sure that's called losing it. Amanda had been my neighbor in elementary school, middle school, high school, and also, I guess, we went to the same college now. She had learned how to, as she put it frequently, tolerate me. Are you going to tell me what cosplays actually brought yet? We just have to wait and see. Well, Magia. So, we can already guess from this. Tell me this much. Did you bring any female characters this time? In my entire life I swear to God, only seen her really cosplay as a female character twice. Once it was Tamino from the Y People, the other time it was Illuminant from Final Fantasy XIII. Both of them look rather androgynous. This had been something of a pattern with Amanda for a while. Her only sport was intramural frisbee. I had literally never seen her in a dress before. She actually wore a tux to high school prom. Did it surprise you to know that I did bring a female character this time? Not if she has short hair and dresses gender neutral. Does she have short hair and dress gender neutral? Are you going to be cosplaying anything this year? Yup. But if you aren't telling me what you brought, well then fair is fair. Amanda grunted and recrossed her arms. Before the conversation could go anywhere else, another familiar face stepped into view. A sweet, familiar, devilish face. Oh, the seat next to you is open. Makoto Mine approached us with her usual playful grin. Amanda's brow immediately furrowed into a glare. Makoto. Hey, Makoto. Amanda's voice was daggers. Mine, meanwhile, went down 2 octaves. Makoto seemed oblivious. Her smile was unshakable. Makoto Mine was an international student from Kyushu, Japan. But you wouldn't know that from her accent. Her English? Totally flawless. I met her for the first time at the beginning of the year in Anime Society. From minute 1 she made my head spin. For some reason, she was all over me, touches, glances, everything. That was something of a dilemma. On one hand, what straight man hates? Affection from a hot girl. On the other hand, Makoto definitely on the crazy side of the hot crazy scale. And then there was the incident. Friday, October 7, 2 weeks ago. Is that the image? No? I had spent the better part of the Attack on Cyclops movie holding my bladder. I could have gone to the bathroom and missed part of it, but at the time staying and squirming had seemed a better option. Yup, it's that image. A few seconds after I flushed, I had heard a sound at the bathroom door. I was still collecting my bearings. I figured it was just another guy coming in, probably someone else from Anime Club. What I would have been out of my mind to expect was the door to my stall being slammed open. You could say I was caught with my pants down by this turn of events. So that's where you were hiding. Had me worried you would leave before we could spend any time together. Yep, it is that image. Makoto was standing there in the bathroom, looking into my stall. There was no illusion, this was an innocent prank. Hell, she'd even taken off her shirt. When had she taken off her shirt? My eyes were caught by her creamy pale breasts. Why had she taken off her shirt? After I managed to put my brain back together, the first thing I did was cover up. She must have had a solid 5 seconds of watching my exposed dick before I could even stop her. Oh, you don't need to do that, I was liking the view. Makoto, what are you doing? She took a step forward, the gap between us was closing, her eyes were hungry. It was something I had never quite seen in a woman before in my entire life. Just relax for a second, Jacob. I know you must be pretty confused right now, but if you just close your eyes, I can make you feel really, really good. She was blushing slightly. By comparison, my cheeks were probably stoplight red. I've been told I'm very good at it, you know. Making men feel good, I can make you feel good too. Just close your eyes. Close them tight and relax. I was paralyzed, totally paralyzed. Her body was so close to me, and she was only getting closer and closer to my bite a second. Wasn't she already there? I didn't know what to do. This was wrong, wasn't it? Her bursting in like that? Part of me just wanted to let this happen. Look, Makoto, this is pretty weird. Can we take a second to just slow down? Talk this through? But Makoto didn't seem to be in a mood to talk through anything. She looked hungry, her lips parted, drawing closer for a kiss. It would be so easy to just... No, this was too weird. No, we are not doing this. I shouldn't be in here. You shouldn't be in here. You need to go. I rose to my feet now, my position was solidifying. How had she thought this was okay? Did she think she could just ambush me on the toilet? Go now. That did the trick. Makoto's face sunk into a strange frown. I could almost see the gears in her head spinning. I matched my eyes to hers. It was easier to keep my resolve than had I looked down at her exposed. Okay. I'll see you next week then, Jacob. Toodles. And just like that, she drew her shirt over her shoulders and just walked out of the stall. It was like for her, none of that really happened, it was all nothing but a game. Makoto was true to her word. She showed up the next week at Anime Society pretending that none of this had ever happened. None of this had even happened. I suppose it was easier for me to try to pretend it didn't happen too. Makoto slid into the seat next to me and curled up into it like a cat who'd found their warm lap. Oh, and she was grinning too. That was always a good sign. There are other open seats around. Don't you think you'd like one near more anime club members? Makoto giggled. Amanda's glare didn't give her an inch. Why? I like the back of the bus and there's such great company here. You're not good at taking hints, are you? Amanda knew, of course. I had told her practically an hour after it had even happened. At the time she had implied that I should have tried to sue her for sexual assault. She very strongly implied it. Well, I'm not sitting next to you, am I? I think Jacob should be the one to decide if I sit with him or not. You'll notice I'm sitting next to him and not next to you. Makes sense? Makoto turned to me with a prayer gesture and big round kitten eyes. Do you want me to go, Jacob? Do you? Let's hear it, Jacob. Do you want Makoto to go? I sighed. Maybe it would be better to send her away. Deep down I had calmed down about the whole incident. And it's not like I would mind having her throw herself on me for the entire ride too much. She probably just liked me but didn't know how to express herself right. Though if I let her stay, Amanda would probably spend the entire time glaring at her, and probably at me too. Amanda could get a bit catty when she was mad. Perhaps it would be better to consider her feelings. Let her stay. Just let her stay, she's got to sit somewhere. Besides, Makoto isn't going to cause any trouble on the bus. I turned to Makoto and stared at her with as much intensity as I could. It was not a face that left much up to interpretation. Right? I'm just an innocent little kitty. I promise I won't make a fuss. Fine. Amanda's facial expression was locked in a death glare that could probably kill a weak-willed mortal with a single glance. I didn't see you at Anime Society last week, were you busy? Yeah, I had a shift at work. The normal guy who covered it took off. Oh, that's a shame. It was a pretty boring meeting though. We just played anime trivia for half of it. You didn't miss anything. I bet you spent the entire time checking the door to see if he'd show up, didn't you? Makoto of course continued her new policy of openly ignoring Amanda. At that moment the bus kicked into gear. The trip to Condon was on its way. For the first 10 minutes we chatted idly. Amanda was mostly quiet, but would interject here and there mainly for sniping at Makoto. Makoto spent that time lavishing me with attention. There were a few moments in here where I seriously had to stop myself and ask what reality did Makoto drop here from. Bubbly and attractive but still following me around? Seriously? Do you want to hear what cosplays I brought with me? No. I guess. Well, I got this cool red Phoenix outfit for cheap. I'm not much for a comic book fan, but I really like the material. Latex. Oh no. Oh, I also have this wonderful Catgirl made cosplay based on Chocola from Cat's Paradise. I put it together myself. You have played Cat's Paradise, right? I actually watched the movie just yesterday. No. Yeah, yesterday. Interesting coincidence. Fuck. If there were ever a moment to have a pause button for a conversation. Oh, typo. For a conversation it would be this one. The thing is that while I do watch anime and I do want to watch anime, I have managed to only watch maybe one series a year at most. But within the last, I think about 2 weeks ago, I started trying to watch at least one series or season or movie every week. It has been going on, actually, yeah, 2 weeks ago. This is the 3rd week it's been going on, and it has been successful so far. I watched the series, a mini movie, and a movie. There are some interesting stuff out there. Like, I mean genuinely interesting, like good series. But anyway, the problem was that I actually had played Cat's Paradise. It was this silly little cat girl made hentai visual novel that was decently popular. That's right, I said hentai. That's the kind of game we're dealing with here. On one hand, I could furiously deny ever having even heard of it. But on the other hand, Makoto was so out of this world bonkers that she might actually prefer me to openly talking about the hentai game. Yup. The movie is PG-13, so it doesn't even reference those scenes from the games. I actually didn't initially know that the games were this type. I discovered it about half a year after I played the demo of the first game. The demo didn't include any of that stuff. So yeah, it was interesting to discover that. Yes, I mean I tried it out for a few hours just out of curiosity, you know. A friend of mine owned the copy. Of course a friend of, yeah. Makoto giggled. There was no way she didn't see through my line about the friend. Still, somehow, I had actually had the courage to say that in public. That was surprising. Well, you should. It's fine to play what you want to play. Oops. Huh. When you scroll with the scroll wheel, it opens this automatically. That is nice. For her part, Amanda raised an eyebrow. What's a Cat's Paradise? Neither Makoto or I answered that question. Anyway, I have 2 more cosplays planned, but they're secrets. The girl's got to have some surprises, you know. Makoto gave me a flirtatious wink. It reminded me how much I still didn't know about her and her motives. I decided to test the theory. Actually, Makoto, I have a question for you. Oh, what is it? What did your last boyfriend think of the fact that well, what did he think of how much you liked geeky stuff like anime and age games? It's kind of funny, but I've actually never had a boyfriend before. Well, that is not like a proper boyfriend. Makoto scrunched up shyly at the question, but didn't break her usual playful expression. Yeah. Really? That's pretty surprising for a girl as pretty as you. Do you have strict parents or something? You think I'm pretty? You're sweet. Add another answer to the confusing pile. Was she being genuinely bashful or was she screwing with me? It was nothing like that though. The circumstances were just never right for me is all. Up until the past few months or so I was always too busy. The implications of up until the past few months didn't elude me. Before I could ask a follow-up, Amanda coughed twice into her hand. I think we're going to be there soon. I saw the 7-Eleven on Oak Street and I remember that was only like 5 minutes away from the place. We should get ready to go. Oh yeah, I guess we should do that. You're staying in room 302, right? Makoto perked up at the question. Amanda mouthed a swear word. My guess was that she hadn't intended to say it that loud enough for Makoto to hear. Rip. Rest in peace. Great. I'm just right down the corridor in 304. After you've settled in, you should come over so we can plan what panels to go to. I nodded. The bus was pulling into the convention center by this point. The folks African decorations such as waterfalls and lion statues outside the building dominated the rows and rows of grey parking lots. In truth, the convention center was more of a hotel than anything. A kitschy resort for families to their kids too. But the fact that it was attached to a sprawling side building made it an ideal site for a con of this size. I looked towards Makoto, realizing that she was practically tugging my sleeve. She didn't like being ignored, that's for sure. I wish there were more tooltips on what this or that thing does. Clearly I couldn't, or perhaps shouldn't, leave this bus without scheduling something with her as well. Do you know what you're going to be during the con? Makoto's face brightened. I don't know just yet, but I'm positive that we'll see each other around. We could always hit up the rave tonight. I tried to answer, but my voice caught in my throat. The image of her body dancing and swaying to the heavy music under the light of glow sticks was well, it was at least confusing, that was for sure. There was no time to answer anyway. A moment later the bus rolled to a stop. Students started piling off, eager to get to their room and plan their day. Makoto softly brushed her side against me as she stood. Then she vanished into the crowd with one last flirtatious. Think you're staring a bit too much, Casanova? I'm not staring. If I wanted to stare, I would have back in the bathroom when she didn't have a shirt on. Maybe you should have. Then you wouldn't have had to troll over her in front of me. Oh, shut up. I was just trying to be polite. You know, she doesn't have many friends. Amanda sighed. No matter how much she tried to stay annoyed, there was just no way she could keep a straight face. We were both too comfortable for lingering bitterness. Besides, there was bigger fish to fry. Amanda stood up, extending a hand to help me join her. The minute you stopped owing her politeness was when she invaded your bathroom stall trying to... Screw you. Come on, moron. Everyone's already left the bus. The first thing I did after getting to the convention center was to go up to my room. I was sharing it with 2 other people who I had never met before, but were in comic club with me. Neither of my roommates had shown up yet. Naturally, I used this golden opportunity to claim one of the beds for myself and begin unpacking. Thursday was normally a short day, but I did have a cosplay planned. As I got into my suit, my eyes were drawn to a unique feature of the room. Is that a portrait of a gorilla? Why is that even here? The gorilla portrait had eyes that followed you around the room like those old Uncle Sam posts. They stared down at my undressed body ominously. Maybe there's a camera behind it. Actually, there is another room there. Huh. This hotel was totally weird. Why was this thing even here? I tried to throw on my outfit in a hurry. Amanda was still waiting for me in room 304 after all. But before I could even leave, there was a knock on the door. Let me guess. Hello? Got tired of waiting. Someone was being a girl about getting dressed. Yeah. I knew she would come. Yeah, sorry about how long it took. I was in a staring contest with a gorilla. What? I pointed out the strangely ominous gorilla painting for her. Amanda just seemed to find my reaction kind of funny. I've seen weirder shit than that. Nothing phases me anymore, I guess. We going? Panels are already starting. Amanda was already off running towards the hallway before I could agree. I grabbed my backpack and my keycard before following after her. Amanda paused in the hallway, only a few yards away from the hall where all the panels were concentrated. Hey, one more thing about what happened on the bus, just real quick. Oh, that sounded serious. I paused to hear her out. What's up? I don't trust Makoto. You were doing such a bad job of showing it back on the bus. I don't mean I don't like her. That's fucking obvious. No, I mean I think she's lying about you. Lying to you about something. Every word out of her mouth is some kind of manipulation. I would keep my distance if I were you. Lies? Why do you think that? To be honest, I don't know. She just gives me the creeps. Hell, I felt that way even before the Buffalo incident. I paused, unsure of how to respond. Amanda is one of the people I trust most. If she really didn't trust someone, I should take it seriously still. She really was taking this grudge shuffler against Makoto way too far. Amanda looked down, then she nodded. If you say so. I just don't want to deal with your whiny ass when she reveals she's crazy. Afterwards, Amanda went back to ranting about what particular panel she wanted to go to. It was as if that interlude had never happened. In fact, that would surprise no one. She rejected outright any of my suggestions for an anime-based panel, without even the slightest bit of consideration. Alright, so it's not quite the lunchtime yet. That means we have time to go to either the panel on Marvelous movie, adaptations, or the interview with the creator of Pain. What do you think? Do they have any guests at the Marvelous movie one? No, it was fan-submitted. So tiny projector, PowerPoint presentation, probably a guy who sucks at public speaking. Oh, that's right. They could know something about comic book movies though. You never know, right? Plus, not necessarily a guy. The con floor was already packed with activity. Much of it was in front of the registration desk, where a line of people out the door were waiting to buy badges. This was why buying badges ahead of time is smart. 1 second, someone is calling me. Oh god damn it, it's work, what do they want? I raised an eyebrow. Since when did Amanda have a job? Today? You can't be serious, you guys can handle this without me. This is my off weekend. I told you guys way in advance. Yeah, I know it's important, but time away is important too. You know how much stress you cause me? She took her phone off her ear for a second and leaned back towards me. Can you go ahead? We can just meet each other in the food court at lunch. Are you sure? Positive, there's no way they're talking me into coming into work on the Conton weekend. No way in hell. But I need to take this right now. Alright, you have my number, I suppose. I wandered around the hallway looking for something to do. Now that Amanda wasn't here, I could consider going to one of the anime panels. But I kept on losing my train of thought. That had been her work calling, right? Amanda had relatively frequent absences and cancellations from social activities, at least over the past 2 years or so. But I didn't recall her once mentioning any kind of job. I would have to ask her about that at some point. In the back of my mind, I considered the possibility that I might run into Makoto. If I did, what would happen when it was time to meet up with Amanda for lunch? The incident on the bus wasn't to be repeated. I decided to just go outside for an hour, watch some of the people roll into the con. I might even see a cool cosplay or two. It was nice out. The grass field in front of the entrance made an excellent place to rest in. I wondered idly when the Crash Bros tournament was going to be. I needed to sign up for that. All my normal worries were about to be superseded quite soon. I barely noticed at first. A group of 3 sci-fi cosplayers, 1 blue girl and 2 dressed like robots, were walking around the grass holding up some kind of fake scanning device. You sure it's fake? This appears to be the location specified on the locator, Your Royal Highness. I just closed my eyes and tried to ignore them. What show were they supposed to be from anyway? Is this where the strongest signal was coming from? Negative. We lost that signal, Your Royal Highness. We believe some kind of cloaking technology is the cause. Oh, and they were role-playing their characters. Wonderful. They saw me trying to sleep here, right? And we believe that signal was associated with the culprit, correct? Affirmative. Very well. Then I will speak to the planetary resident who is giving off the weaker signal. I can obtain more information from her. That was the moment that I awoke to someone screeching in my face. Hello, Earth resident. You are alive, yes? My eyes shut open. The woman in the blue alien costume was standing right above me. They surrounded me. I had one of the robot cosplayers flanking me on either side. Excuse me? Can I help you? Oh, excellent. I didn't think you were dead, but I didn't know if Earth residents slept. So I had concerns. What is she exactly? What is she exactly? She? What? Why is this woman calling me a she? Someone was fucking with me. Someone must have been fucking with me. Our records indicate that this creature is a human. But where are her breasts? Do humans not have breasts? I'm a guy. I narrowed my eyes. The reports indicate that the human species possess a gender besides female. They are still in the process of evolving the Y chromosome out of their genetic makeup. So this is a male human. That's why there aren't any breasts? That is correct, Your Royal Highness. That is so interesting. The girl in the blue body paint practically shook with excitement as she said it. Jesus, she was method acting hard. I was getting pretty tired of the shit already. Can you tell me what's going on now? Certainly, my name is Thalia, and I am the Princess of Justica of Avia. I have come to take you into custody with the intention of extracting information related to a high crime against the people of Avia. Custody, huh? You guys are really cute with your character acting, but would you mind doing it with someone else? This isn't funny. I tried to push my way past them, only for one of the robot cosplayers to suddenly grab my wrist. Before I realized what's happened, my wrists are restrained behind my back by something cold and metal. Hey, what are you doing? My Genoids weren't going to let you escape so easily. Come now, we must transport you back to the holding cells. This has officially stopped being funny. Get me out of these things right the fuck now. I turned around in time to see one of the robot cosplayers open up. There wasn't a cosplayer inside. Well, that wasn't normal. It looked like it had some internal sensor or something that it was scanning me with. It made a strange beeping noise. That sure didn't look like something that a cosplayer could make. This was the first time I seriously entertained the notion that these weirdos might actually be aliens. Look, I swear I have no idea what's going on. Can we please take a second and talk this out? Maybe remove whatever you put on my wrists? I cannot do this, Earthmale. The crimes I am investigating are among the most heinous in the history of my planet. You must be brought back for questions. I wiggled my hands, no luck. These weren't a pair of cheap handcuffs like you could get in a novelty shop in a mall. I wouldn't be able to escape from these without at least bolt cutters or a blowtorch. Do not struggle so much. I'm not trying to harm you. but my Genoid's restraining cuffs are designed to make escape attempts quite painful. Please relax, I do not intend to harm you unless it becomes needed. That distinctly sounded like a threat. Despite my misgivings, I stopped struggling against the cuffs. Your Royal Highness, our scans have picked up a new signal with the same trace signature as the original signal inside of the building. Inside of the building? Is the cloaking device they were using down? Likely not. It suggests that the cloaking device was simply not powerful enough to hide the signal from a close radius scan. So then, we can find her, yes? Indeed. Excelsior! Talia made a strange celebratory clicking sound. By this point I was so confused I couldn't even process it. It was just one more mental indignity on top of the string of them that had been the last few minutes. We must move immediately. The dastardly thief shall not escape me again. Wait, what about me? What about... One of us would need to leave you behind to escort the human male back to the ship, Your Royal Highness. My name is Jacob, stop calling me the human male. To escort Jacob back to the ship. Talia scratched her head. Can we just escort this Jacob with us into the building? Yes, however, there is a risk that Jacob's accomplice might free him. I rolled my eyes. I don't have an accomplice. I wasn't involved in anything, this is bullshit. Talia paused. I paused too. A moment of silence passed between us before she arrived at an answer. Let us take her with us then. It is quite likely she can at least aid us as a guide inside of the building. Before I could protest, the Genoids reached down and dragged me to my feet. She picked me up into the air easily with a single hand. Okay, that also didn't seem like something a normal cosplayer could do. Onward, my friend, justice demands it. The longer I was forced to walk with the bizarre trio, the more my fear and confusion turned back to annoyance. Talia was basically a 4-year-old. She would react to everything she saw by getting wide-eyed and point to it. The worst part though was that I couldn't escape. Every time I tried to move more than a few feet in any direction, one of my Genoids would pull me back. No one stopped to help me. To them it must have looked like part of some cosplay. Talia pointed to a man and woman dressed as Joker and Harley Quinn. Why are so many of the Earth creatures humans? Why are all of these Earth humans wearing such varied apparel? Is this what you wear while doing traditional or spiritual activities? I rolled my eyes. What? No, not really. This is a geek fandom convention. We dress up in costumes at these based on our favorite shows. What is a show? So is that a religious ceremony of some type? Anthropology analysis systems rate chance it is a religious holiday. It is a religious holiday at 78%. Wow. I arrived at the next piece of evidence that suggested that perhaps Talia might not be from this planet at the door with a normal turning handle. Talia handled it with less than finesse. For the next full minute the girl proceeded to try repeatedly to open the door with various hand gestures. Then she tried telling it to open. Then she tried hand gestures. Then she jumped around in frustration. I just stood there dumbfounded. If this was just play acting, then she was awfully good at it. It sure seemed like this woman, who was probably an adult. If this was just play acting, then she was awfully good at it. It sure seemed like this woman, who was probably an adult, couldn't open a door handle right. Do you need help with that? Maybe. I walked over, turned around so I could use my hands and then easily twisted open the doorknob. Incredible. You're really not from around here, aren't you? I squinted carefully. The more I closely look at her skin, the less it looked like body paint. Indeed, I am unsure how you came to believe you were being deceived. After all, we have not attempted any disguises or infiltration tactics. Talia leveled her head upwards and let loose a series of strange clicking sounds from earlier. Was this how her species showed amusement? Well, so I haven't gone through the whole day. The demo includes one full day. I don't know how long it is, but I think I have shown you enough of the game to showcase you whether you would like something like this or not. It is yeah, it is interesting. This is gonna be really funny, I'm sure, because this first thing has been so far, and now you saw the 3 characters that are in here and how they act, I guess. And this, yeah, this is you can already see the themes that this visual novel will go towards, and you will probably, depending on your choices, you will acquire better relationships with the different characters, and then you're also kind of a dork, aren't you? And then you will get the endings based on those. And the endings will definitely be humorous and saucy. Both at the same time, I'm sure. Anyway, in my opinion it looks interesting and fun, and I will definitely be looking forward to the full version. So, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. I will also put the link to the Kickstarter on the description, in the description below, just in case you're interested in it. So, bye!